Alright guys, we're about to start installing, which I can't believe is actually happening. The day has come. So what are we going to start off with? We're going to start off with, of course, the camshaft. Now, I also purchased this cam and lifter installation lube. So we're about to coat the cam in it and then pop it in. Going to lubricate it quite a bunch. Alright, now for the dirty part. Just go ahead and get all this lube onto here. It's going pretty easy. This lubricant is definitely very lubricanty. That's even a word. So it's pretty much coated on every surface at this point. So now we're just going to go ahead and pop it in after I change my gloves. It's finally time to start taking off some of this stuff that I had taped on here before. Get it all removed. Yeah, for now. Cleaned everything previously, so everything looks pretty good. So now let's just get the cam. Alright, cam ready to go in. As you can see, on one side there's 2 holes and the other one there are 3 holes without a pin. Obviously the one with the 3 holes goes in here. So right now we're just going to move this. It's in. Whew. As you can see, I didn't even use the bolts because I forgot them. Alright, so next we're going to reattach this cam retainer plate. As you can see, there's a gasket right there. And it's just going to go over the cam like that. Okay, so now we're going to apply some Loctite on our bolts.
Sorry, Baba.
Put them back in here. So these are the 4 10mm bolts that we took out originally with the cam retainer plate. So I'm just gonna screw it in by hand all the way, and then I'm gonna use my torque wrench to torque them down to 18 foot-pounds. Now we're just gonna torque these bolts down to 18 foot-pounds. There we go. There we go. They're all at 18 foot-pounds. Just to double check one more time. Yep, they're all good. Okay, so this is the next step, installing this cam gear. There's the bottom portion. here's the new chain. I went ahead and looked it over already. Chain is just a chain. I mean, it's, as you can see, I mean, it just lines up everywhere. I was making sure that nothing would not line up, or something would not line up. So, but as you can see, I mean, it just lines up perfectly. So what we can do is just now take this one off and put the gear back on with the new chain. Okay, so let's see how difficult of a process this is going to be. Probably going to have to rotate this ever so slightly. Let's see. There we go. And it's lined up. So, yeah, see that bottom dot, top dot, it's good to go. All right, so I think this is where the difficult part comes in. Now, we're gonna have to take this off, now that it's lined up. Okay, put the timing chain on the crankshaft, then put the cam gear onto the timing chain. Okay, that's not good. Not good either. That's not good, that's not good. That looks about right. And I think it's back on. Just double check. Yeah. Dots line up. The bottom. There's that dot. There's that dot. So it's lined up. Chain goes around here and around the cam gear. Everything's lined up perfectly. Let's apply some loctite or cam bolts again. And slide them in. There we go. We'll repeat the same process for the other two. These bolts have to be torqued down to 26 foot-pounds. And again, they're just 10mm bolts. Let's go. Rotate all three of them slightly. Go. 126 pounds. That should click any second now. There we go. This one too should click any second. Yep, there we go. So all three have been torqued down 26 foot-pounds. Just double check. Okay. Okay. And okay. All right, so next is the oil pump. Here's the old oil pump, which I won't be using. And here's the new oil pump. So what I'm going to do with this new one is take some engine oil and just pour some in here. Okay, looks about good. So I did get the new pickup tube ring, which goes right there. So let's move on to the install. Now, since I put oil into the oil pump and this is basically going to go over, I put a little oil pan underneath, and just so I can rotate this. Like it is going to leak oil out. But I want it to lubricate it regardless. So let's see how this is gonna go on. Nope, not yet. Okay, how about now? Oh, there it is. Okay. So, as you can see, it looks pretty centered to me. The old pickup tube went right in. It's snug. So now let me just put the new little seal around it. So let's see how difficult of a process this is going to be. Now that I had this position like that, without really looking at what's happening. I think I'm gonna have to take that off. Yep. All right, let's do this again. Okay. Now it goes in, and there it is. I think we're good. Okay. I'm gonna fiddle with it for a couple more minutes just to make sure everything's lined up. But so far it looks good. Okay, so next we'll just apply some Loctite to the oil pickup tube and carefully install it. Because once again, we do not want that thing dropping into the oil pan. So the torque spec to this is 9 foot-pounds, but I seriously doubt we can get a torque wrench in here. So we'll just basically turn this by hand until it's nice and snug. And that is a 10mm bolt. Okay. So check one more time. As my son would say, using the little baby wrench. Okay, I won't overdo it. That's about right. I think we're good. Okay, so we're going to apply Loctite to our oil pump bolts as well and install them. Let's see. There we go. I think. Yep. Alright. I'm just going to tighten it by hand and repeat the same process for the other 3. Now that all the bolts have been installed, we just got to tighten them down to 18 foot-pounds. Go. Here's one. Second one. Third one. And fourth one. Just double check one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, we're all good. Got all of them tightened, so pretty much the only thing next left to do is put the cover on, the timing chain cover on. Okay, so let's see how painful of a process this is going to be. Go ahead, I painted everything before doing this because now I got to remove this seal. That was sarcastic, by the way. Get something else out. Okay, that one's for my knee. So apparently, you position the hammer on the seal and just go around. so this is gonna have to smack pretty hard. Let's see how it looks. Doesn't look like it's coming out, so let me go upgrade to a bigger hammer instead of a rubber hammer that I was just using. Okay. Okay. Check one thing. There it is. And it popped out finally. So yeah, that's the seal. So it does have to be smacked quite hard to get it to come out. But as you can see, it does come out. So now we're just gonna put the new seal in. Just pop the new seal back in there, pressed it in there, and I do have an old table tennis racket, so there we go, it's in, nicely seated. So I'm just gonna lay this flat down again just to make sure. Yep, it's very snug. I don't see any place that's higher than the other. Just double checking everything a couple more times just in case. We're good. Probably still even use this old table tennis rack. New seal has been installed. Okay, so the next phase involved adding a gasket with the RTV gasket maker. So I added it to the bottom since I have the gasket here somewhere. There it is. So that's the gasket that goes on top right there. I noticed there was a lot of oil at the bottom, so I'm assuming it's because of this bottom gasket. So I went ahead and created it. It looks like that, but there's no need to do anything right there since I have that one. Looking at the oil pan, there is a gasket on here, but oil was leaking through there and through there. So I don't know if there's going to be any issues with adding a new gasket maker around on top of this gasket. Hopefully not. Hopefully it helps it out. So I'm going to go ahead and proceed with the installation as is. Alright, with the new gasket on here, let's go ahead and slide this on there slightly. And let's grab one of our bolts, put it through the gasket. And screw it into the block. Do the same thing with the next one. And for instruction, we're not going to screw these in all the way. We're just going to screw them in about 5 or 6 turns, and we'll leave it all in there. So there's 2, 4, 6, 7, 8, and then 9, 10 underneath. Alright, so now that I've put the bolts back on, not threaded all the way, the next step is the harmonic balancer, or the crank pulley, which I'm not going to be doing tonight because it's already getting late. So I'll end up waiting for that a little bit later, and yeah, well, hopefully I'll get some time tomorrow to work on this. I'm excited to just get this thing back to operational status. Not a bad day's worth of work. Got all the innards in, and as much as the timing chain cover.